Okay, so welcome back, and today we're going to start talking about other properties of power series, in this case differentiation and integration of power series. Okay, so let's start with an intro into the idea behind this, and then we'll introduce the theorem and the terminology of what we mean by this. So first, let's consider a power series of this sort, right? So C sub n times x to the nth power. So we have this infinite series, this power series. And so we're going to also again consider that it converges on some interval I. And then we're going to let f be the function that represents or that is defined by the series. Okay, so in other words, f of x equals this infinite power series. Okay. So two questions we want to ask ourselves is one, is f of x differentiable? And if so, how do we differentiate it? And if f is integrable, okay, and how do we integrate f of x? So now if we consider what we know already from Calc 1, and what we know about polynomials, we know that if we consider a finite sequence, which gives us just a polynomial in x, we know that we can differentiate and integrate those polynomials term by term, right? So that's a given. So what about if we have an infinite series? Well, it turns out we're going to show that if you have an infinite series that converges on a particular interval, that you can integrate the series term by term or differentiate the series term by term. So that means that we can use this series here, and we can rewrite the derivative as this, where all we're going to do is taking the derivative term by term to get the subsequent derivative of the function, which gives us another series. And then in other words, also when we integrate, we can integrate the series term by term, and thereby getting this result. Okay? And so this is useful because this will allow us, first of all, we can use representations of series that we already know to find other representations of series that we don't know. Okay, so this is going to allow us to be able to differentiate or integrate term by term to find those representations. Okay, and we'll do examples of those. Okay, so in the next video we'll introduce the theorem that will introduce the idea of differentiating and integrating term by term and the conditions that need to be satisfied to do it. See you then.